Welcome back to Streamline Investigations, and thank you very much all for your support. I just want to go into Gus Lamont case, and obviously there are a lot of archive cases that go back to the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s in basically Australia, South Australia, all around Australia. This article says there's no official figure publicly available for exact amount of money spent on the search for the Gus Lamont, the 4-year-old boy who disappeared from a remote South Australian sheep station in September 2025. Governments and police departments in Australia do not typically release real-time or running cost tallies for active missing persons or major crime investigation. However, experts and media commentators frequently describe it as one of the largest and most intensive searches efforts ever undertaken by South Australian police. The scale of the operation indicates a massive financial undertaking involving personnel, hundreds of police officers, state emergency services, SES volunteers, and specialist trackers. Aviation and technology, extensive use of helicopters, drones equipped with infrared technology, specialised units, deployment of Australian Defence Force ADF to assist in physical search, as well as water divers and cadaver dog teams. Dedicated task force. The establishment of Task Force Horizon is a dedicated team of investigators handling the case as a major crime investigation. And this is kind of interesting. Beware of social media information. The search for Gus Lamont has been heavily plagued by online hoaxes, clickbait, and artificial intelligence generated fake news. You do get that in a lot of high profile cases. If you've been Pacific's multi-million-dollar figure, tie directly to the search and platform of Facebook or TikTok, it's highly likely to be unverified or entirely fabricated by independent pages seeking engagement. Reliable updates are best sourced directly from the official South Australia police press release or reputable national news outlets like the ABC. My thoughts at the moment is that obviously the government police departments have spent so much money investigating in where Gus is. And like I said, it wasn't much longer after Gus went missing. They said it's basically a body retrieval case, which is so sad, but nothing was found. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what turn this case actually takes. Will there be much more information that comes out to help us to find out Gus? Or will it just be from month to month or every couple of months now, as this case seems to me to be dying off a bit? And I must admit, people are dropping off. And in some ways, I don't blame them because the lack of information, which is coming out from the South Australian police, who I think heads behind that are controlling the narrative of this case and what is, sort of known to the public. But like I said, it's just really, really odd at the moment. Obviously, we're waiting for Josie and Shannon's lawyers to say something about the case at the moment. They're going to keep tight-lipped until obviously Josie goes to court on another charge and just to see what happens there. But at the moment, I think we're just at a standstill in this case. And it's very, very worrying. Will we ever find out what happened to Gus Lamont? I mean, there are people just wondering whether, he exists. Is he older? Is he living, is he living somewhere else? Is he safe? Is he with his mother, Jessica? Is he safe? Is he with his father? I mean, these are questions that a lot of us have answered, but we just don't know. This is what makes this case very, very bizarre. If we knew basically someone would have him, is he safe? But like I said, the money that the police have put into this, and obviously the early part of the case of the investigations into trying to find Gus and all the manpower, it makes you wonder why this would all go ahead if the police and the government didn't actually believe Gus was out there. Why make waste millions and millions of pounds of taxpayers' money to do this. In some ways, it doesn't make sense. And there's so many people invested into this case and giving me good advice in going forward, and information which I didn't even know about. South Australia, the mining community, and how far it goes back. A lot of underground and tunnels, which I think the police will come across a lot more. But at this present moment, I think it's the quietest it has been for a little while. You know, even when it was quiet before, you get little bits and bobs by the news, but they're not even doing that anymore, which is very, very worrying. Let me know your thoughts, people, because like I said, you know, is this building, is it quiet because it's building towards something, or is it quiet because it could well be a cold case? Let me know what your thoughts are, people, and don't forget to subscribe to Streamline Investigations. Thank you.